Namaste, divine beings. Namaste, divine beings. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Today, as we do our pilgrimage and as we step into the light, mantra energies are the bridge to the consciousness we are seeking. Of all the mantras, the Maha Moksha mantra has been very personal to me. And to see the Maha Moksha mantra from the energy field of Lord Siva and activate this energy through this pilgrimage is reshaping the flow of life itself, reshaping our experiences, reshaping our soul connect. So, divine beings, as we begin the journey, as we enter within, let's begin with the story of Markandeya Maharishi. Sage Mrikandu and his wife did tapas, the constant prayers, single focus, asking Lord Siva, give us a child. Lord Siva appears to him and says, you can have one intelligent boy who would die, however, by the age of 16, or you could have 100 of less intelligent children who would live long. The sage chooses the intelligent boy. And from the moment of his birth, his father and mother teach him that Lord Siva is the power of infinity that can reshape any limit, including death. On the 16th day, the father and mother are so worried when he goes. And he tells his father and mother, do not worry. And he goes in and builds a Siva Lingam and starts worshipping the Siva Lingam. And as he starts worshipping the Siva Lingam, when his destined time to die has come, Lord Yama has come with with uh, with all the intent to take him. And as he's connected to the lingam, when Yama tries to tug him away, Lord Siva stops that. And his prayers of oneness were so powerful that the Lord of Death itself receives the death from Lord Siva. Markandeya Maharishi is worshipped today as an eternal being, as an eternal guru. And this mantra, the Maha Moksha mantra, is said to have been received from him directly. Now, in my life story, when Bhairava Sekha Swami took me to Sri Kalahasti and took me to my death initiation, there was a time when I felt the situation so challenging in all ways. It was death itself. and then seeing different layers of my different lifetimes deaths. But within me, a small embryo emerged, and that embryo I knew was Lord Siva. And that embryo became bigger, 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 and then soon it became a vast being in this body. And that's when I realized, wow, this is my soul, huge and vast. And then, like a little puppy, I was seeking divinity. So when Bhairavaseka Swami gave me the Maha Moksha mantra, one of the first mantras, I understood this mantra as the energy of light to connect to Lord Siva and to be Lord Siva. And so the mantra was set alight in me as a mantra that went on even while I was sleeping. I was saying the mantra. A few months later, at that time, I was in the granite business and we were looking at a granite quarry, and it was in the forest. And we went in, and there had been a new swarm of killer bees that had come into South India. And these were killer bees inside the cave. So there were four of us, and we went deep inside the cave and we were shining the light to just check to see the rocks, the rock formation, when all the bees descended down. Two of my companions ran away, and me and my manager got stuck. And now all the bees that descended on us, we are talking about thousands and thousands of bees. And they were all over him and all over me. And that's the time when I felt death. I felt, here we are, face to face with death. And I kept saying the mantra and holding this mantra, just nothing other than the mantra. And the first experience at that time was a blue like being of calmness descended me. Now I could feel a bee actually literally step into my nose and into my clothes, because there were thousands of them, but not one was stinging me. And now I saw this manager of mine, Geeta. He was rolling with all the bees stinging him, and I was just a few feet away. At this point in time, the other two who ran away brought in smoke with all the leaves, and we were able to pull him out. But I still remember how the bees were sitting on me, and the human me had dissolved away into the spirit of Siva. And here was the epicenter of calm, and around it was like a hurricane, like a tornado. And this is really how life really happens to us on the spiritual path. See, when we walk towards light, Lord Siva, we are in a moment extinguishing ourselves from the cycles of life. And if we are extinguishing that and stepping into the absolute now, all the karma of all the many, 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 many lifetimes has to go somewhere. The soul says, I am, I am, I am. The body and mind says, me too. That's where the problem is. So if we notice in our spiritual pathways, we suddenly are faced with so much of challenges, because each of the challenges are actually opportunities to dissolve and move into the greater. Mother Kunti would mention, the mother of the Pandavas of the Mahabharata, she would mention Krishna, to keep my mind on you, give me some small problems. But in our case, we are not given small problems, we are given different forms of challenges at all times. And this mantra, Maha Moksha mantra, negates all the limitations, negates the problem. And while there's a problem, it serves to serve us. So today we will journey with the mantra through the 8 blessings of Lord Siva through the mantra. So, divine beings, as we begin, as our journey is. Now, go into, see, when we say tapas, tapas is a very powerful word. In other words, there is an energy field that is beyond, it's like the mother of energy, and that is the power of tapas. Tapas is in a moment connecting us to all the masters who are also in tapas. In other words, when we are in tapas, we are the we are the masters. We are all the masters in the singularity. So whenever we step into a mantra like Maha Moksha mantra, this is a mantra of tapas done by so many sages over over thousands of years. All of this energy we are tapping into the now. So when we go through the Maha Moksha mantra, first receive the mantra, and then we will deploy the mantra in dimensions that our soul has been praying for, that we have been praying each day to God, source. Let all that be fulfilled in the now. Burn up all that is not necessary in our life, like poverty, karma, like whatever there is that has been limiting us, burn it away, put it into the mantra. We will go through the whole process of dissolving away the quagmire of our life, because every one of us has unique sets of challenges in our lives. And these challenges, all of this, we will dissolve it into our light. So, let's go through the mantra first, receive the mantra. Open your eyes, go into the chat section, open your eyes so you can see the mantra. Looking at the mantra is the first dimension of receiving the grace of the mantra itself. Triyambakam yajamaye sungatam muini maranam murmargameva mandanat niryor mugliyamamrana. Now, as we go through the mantra, there will be so many beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wisdom dimensions through the mantra and with the mantra and applying the mantra in terms of where we are in energy field. The first we need to know is when Markandeya Muni, Markandeya Rishi, when he received the grace of enlightenment from Lord Siva, he received the grace to know that he was whom he was before his birth, and he was whom he is after his death. In other words, there is a huge sense of timelessness that actually brings us into time as a cocoon. So our experience in the human reality is time as a cocoon, but in reality, we are the timelessness. So in this timelessness, how we tap into this timelessness is Om before and Om after the mantra. So let's say the mantra again. And at all times, keep this. So in this way, we can journey in awareness beyond the mind. Om Triyambakam yajamaye sungatam muini maranam murmargameva mandanat niryor mugliyamamrana. Now, when you're saying the mantra, Om before and Om after, know that when you're saying the mantra, allow for the pillar of light to form. See, the pillar of light that is being formed is the ecstasy. When we are in unions in all the dimensions, each dimension provides a layer of ecstasy, a dimension of ecstasy and orgasmic joy. But as we climb up, to infinity, the states of orgasmic joy are so powerful that we rather stay here than actually come down to any low experiences. This is why sages sit meditating for years together, because we are suckling the cosmic honey. So the pillar of light as form is a very vital dimension. So when you're saying the mantra, experience the pillar of light within. If you notice, we went into being the pillar of light. There's breath and there's that non-breath. When I would go to see Guruji Rajaswami, when I went to see Guruji Rajaswami, one day he took me into his room and told me to close all the windows. And he said, just there's going to be too much energy happening. So let's put us on the cave. So he took me to the room, we closed all the windows, and then he went into his chanting. And slowly the chanting became Brahmarinadi, just vibrancy. And then soon all I could see was a pillar of light. And this energy field came to me as the grace of the breath beyond breath. So later on, many years later, after I had produced our music, Cave of the Symbols, Guruji Rajaswami listened to it and said, oh my God, my Guru told me that it takes 7 years for the Kundalini, once it's planted as seeds with a mantra, it takes 7 years for it to actually mature. So when I took you, he was telling me, when I took you to the forest, I gave you about 6 siddhas. Now when I listen to it, I can hear so many souls. I can listen to the presence of so many siddhas. In other words, with the breath beyond breath grace is the presence of all the gurus. And these gurus who have come through the mantra are with us, guiding us. So each of us are awake with the inner guru, with all the beings of light surrounding us. Know that Lord Siva is light. So when it's a pillar of light, all the masters are wanting to serve the light. All the angelic beings. So let's go into the mantra, feeling the grace of the breath beyond breath within the mantra. Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham moine maranam urmargameva mandanat manyor munde amamrita. Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham moine maranam urmargameva mandanat manyor munde amamrita. Now, a mantra is given as a gift of consciousness. I received this mantra from Bhairava Swami. Later, by email, we'll email each of us the picture for your altar of Bhairava Swami. He will be in our Maha program, giving his Diksha. Let's invoke him as the one who gave us the mantra. Om Bhairavanengan Swamiki Arohara Bhairava Sekar Swamiki Arohara. When you say Arohara, visualize the fire within, visualize ourselves as the fire, the sacred fire, Arohara, where the presence of all the masters are, and we are walking him into the presence within ourselves. Om Bhairavanengan Swamiki Arohara Bhairavanengan Swamiki Arohara Bhairavanengan Swamiki Arohara Bhairavanengan Swamiki Arohara. Arohara, arohara, arohara. Rub your palms together, your left hand with your mother, your left breath, the goddess within each of us. The right palm is our father, the sun breath, the cosmic infinity. Bring them all into union as blessings of the mantra. Receive the mantra grace. So, divine beings. Now, we spoke about the 5 dimensions, which included the grace of the gurus. Now, the 6th dimension is the mantra itself is Lord Siva. And Siva is experienced through the 5 elements. The last workshop were the 5 elements. In this moment now is penetrating into the 5 and being the 5. When we've done with this, now we are ready to receive Siva, Lord Siva blessings. So let's do the 5 elements. The first one is the earth element. Feel the earth underneath the foot. Feel the body. Feel our existence. Imagine we've just woken up. Who am I? That is the body. That is a life experience. That which is as on cellular level. Let's say the mantra. Om Triyambakam Yajamaya Nandam Mangameva Mandanam Om The next is water. See, the element of water, fluidity, is our relationships, our thoughts, our realities. All of this is very fluid. Now, if we know that we are in the, when we are in the mantra connecting to the fluidity of life itself, we are creating the epicenter of light within ourselves to twirl our life around our innermost harmony. Om Triyambakam Yajamaya Nandam Mandanam Mangameva Mandanan Murniyor Mugneya Mamrita. Come into the element of fire. Now, a highly recommendable step for us to take is to light a lamp once a day, all the time, especially to Maha Shivratri, because we have the 5 elements. The first one, earth and water, is in the physical realities. Once we come to fire, fire is the one that interacts with the spiritual and the physical. Now comes breath above it and the akash above it. So within this, the fire element is also connecting to the greater self of us as in the 3 dimensions. The dimension of the golden light that we are, the dimension of infinity, and the dimension of the light within ourselves. So when you're saying the mantra, feel the golden light. Feel the golden light work as fire in every dimension. For instance, even as we breathe, there is the fire energy going on. As we digest food, the fire energy, we think there's a fire energy going on. Fire is life. So when we go into the energies of Lord Siva, go into the element of fire. And now comes Lord Siva as prana, Lord Siva as breath. Lord Siva is the breath beyond breath. See, in our journey within are the several dimensions that we understand as life. There is life and there is that beyond life. There is the spirit that we are, and there is the infinite divine God that the spirit belongs to. So in all of this is air as breath, that as breath beyond breath, and that which is the womb to samadhi itself. So when we say samadhi, samadhi is where inner wisdom awakens. We are gifted with the knowing from inside the moment we have been blessed to experience samadhi. And this is prana. This is air element. Now comes the fifth element, the element of infinity space. So just think, scientists mention that if we count the grain in all the beaches of the world, there's a number, and this number is 6 sextillion. That is the number of known stars in this universe. So there's a divine cosmic energy of Siva that connects all of the infinite universe of universes to the micro of that within every cell within us. This infinity in the finite has the cosmic intelligence, is the cosmic intelligence. The Fibonacci principle, for instance, is the reflection of this infinity in the now. So when you say the mantra, feel the alignment of infinite space, Akash, into the now. So, divine beings, we have been through the dimensions of source unions. Now let's take all of Lord Siva's blessings. Now, through the Maha Sivaratri, anything that we do is multiplication, is intensified. So whenever we do a mantra, the mantra energies of ours is in reality enhanced during this time. So say the mantra on and on and on and on to this period of time, because gradually our mind itself is all into the super mind. Unlimited human dissolve into the angelic Siva. Yes. So in these moments, the 8 blessings of Lord Siva through the mantra. So when you say the mantra, know that the love that we have for source unity. Bhakti is the first of the blessings. So when you say the first of the blessings of Lord Siva, first of the blessings of Lord Siva, it is understanding the source union that all is within us as first of the blessing of Lord Siva. So when you say the mantra, connect. I am the daughter, I am the son of God, I am source, I am the source union. Connect to I am Siva, Siva is me. Aham, Brahmasmi, I am, I am, I am. So this divine love, the source union, when you're saying the mantra, connect to that source union, the individual self with infinite, infinite. Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivardanam mamakameva vandanam madhyoramneyamamranam. Let us see the blessings. Now, we are the grace, see, when we are awake or when we've gone through even a death experience to wake up. We understand we are the spirit having this human experience. But as spirit, we also know we are the master. We are not one. We are the many masters. And we all the being of light to share the light. You all the being of light to lead us to light. All the gurus serve one purpose, leading us to light. When we are the light, all the gurus surround us. So now when you say the mantra, visualize the pillar of light. Visualize all the masters that are within us. Babaji, Kriya Babaji, all the gurus, all the beings, and all the beings be with us in the mantra chant. Now, when confronted with realities, anxieties, worries, all of this is that which threatens us. In so many ways, we have a mind. Now, when we enter into the mantra of the Maha Moksha mantra, we are stepping into the totality. We are stepping into the totality of protection of light. In a journey through light, we need to know we are protected. We are protected by the light. Any energy that comes to take our energy away or that comes to cast any energy away is dissolved away in our light. So when we are the energy of light and the Lord of protection, Lord Siva, nothing can come anywhere near us in this negative forms. Trying to resolve the sound. I think it's good now. Yes. So when we are now with the mantra, step into the mantra from its protective energy. Feel that we are being the light that is able to dissolve away any darkness. Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham. Yes. So, divine beings, when we step into the Maha Moksha mantra protection, understand protection is purely from our karmic traits, the past of so many lifetimes in the now that is playing occur. When we set the energy of Lord Siva, is it all away all that which is limiting us. So when you're saying the mantra, now to enter into that protective light, imagine for ourselves that we are in a shrine temple and we are laying down prostrate and we are allowing our body to go around the temple. This is called Anga Pradakshana, a very powerful way of prayer, a powerful way of meditation. That is imagining the body itself being given to the divine. In that way, we're giving just about all the 5 sheets we are to the divine. For now, imagine each of our layer of existence now being given to the divine and stepping into the light, the protective light. There is a power that we draw within the mantra as we go into the protective energy of the. It is like a cave within us from where we are learning all the ideas. When Lord Rama wanted to attack Ravana, Ravana was an enlightened master. He was in the states of Purya. He had 10 heads, 10 different dimensions he could do. He was virtually unbeatable. The only way Lord Rama could beat Ravana was to invoke Lord Siva. Being an avatar, he had the access to being able to awaken Lord Siva and invoke Lord Siva and be the protective light of infinity that conquered Ravana. So this dimension of Lord Siva as the pillar of light, the pillar of light that can absorb away any form of darkness means assuming that we are in a place where there are so many spirits, our job is to send the word to light. Say the mantra, send all the good, bad, ugly spirits to light. We become the good of all the spirits when we send them to light. So there's no fear of any spirit, good, bad, evil. We are simply sending them to light. At the same time, when we're working with realities, we want the realities to align to us. We want to ensure our karma is conducted to us. So, when you're saying the mantra, let's say the mantra, pulling Lord Siva as a protective force. Triyambakam yajamaye sugandhim vaidivardhanam madhaviva vandhanat so, if there's any reality that is bothering us, say the mantra 108 times with that problem, with that anxiety, with that worry, with it. Now, when you step into the mantra and the mantra energy, it's very natural that the vibrant light reworks the reality, fine-tunes the mind to be able to work the reality. Simply shifts us from one layer of consciousness to the next layer of consciousness. And irrespective of all of this is the power within of being Lord Siva. The next dimension is Lord of life and realities. All of us, in some way or the other, we have a quagmire in life that has been bothering us. It could even be in the form of loneliness. It could even be in the form of boredom. But then beyond all of this is life itself. The basics of every dimension in life is with the creation of dharma and good karma and negating away all that which is fate. Now, fate means it's karma and action. We have the power within us to be the destiny. Destiny is the spirit, Lord Siva. I still remember after my wake up and my journey with him, Bhairava Sekha Swami mentions to me. He tells me, no astrologer will be able to say your future now because you've given it away to Lord Siva. I said, what does it mean? He said, it means you have the power over your destiny. And that was so powerful to me to understand what that meant as Lord Siva. So the moment you step in, know that a karma does not hold any more limits. We are now able to see life in its fullest. So when we say the mantra, bring together all that which is our life experiences in terms of humans, in terms of relationships, in terms of where we are and what we are doing, our life goal, in terms of our health and vitality, in terms of our relationships around us in all the macro ways, in terms of collective karma too. So let's say the mantra together. Receive the blessings. Now comes the mantra itself. The mantra itself is allow me to fulfill myself, allow the spirit to complete itself, allow this life process to be enriched in wholeness. So when you say the mantra, know that we are now asking or rather putting in as intent the intent of completion, which really is the nature of Lord Siva. Sankara is the nature of Lord Siva to fulfill and complete. Sankara. So when you come into Lord Siva as the fulfiller, as the one who completes us, the one who is in the moment, in an instant, allowing the manifestations of what it is that it takes to complete us. For instance, when we do the soul blessings, it is the soul seeking that is highest prayer that instantly comes into manifestation. The soul. So the soul as a being is Lord Siva. So let's go into Lord Siva as the Lord of fulfillment and completion. So imagine ourselves whole and complete. Imagine ourselves as, see, when we say a lingam is infinity represented in definite. That is the shape of a lingam. So when you sit down in meditation, we are in reality like a lingam. Now, this that we are, no, it is complete and full. It's inside out. We are overflowing in light. It's the inner sun awake. So when you're saying the mantra, feel the innermost sun awake and completing us in all its forms. So no matter what, in our vortex of light, there is completion, there is fulfillment, there is evolving grace of growing consciousness, of expanded light, expanding consciousness. Now, divine beings, in our pathway into light, what we experience is the liberation of our spirit to be the vastness that we truly are. I could remember going to the same Sri Kalahasti temple just 2 months after my initiation with Bhairava Sekha Swami. The moment I enter the temple premise, I felt a huge, big, vast beingness of me simply there. And this experience made me understand this is the common denomination in all the places of worship. You go to a church, you go to a temple, you go to a mosque, they have high ceilings. And these high ceilings is to accommodate the vastness of our unconsciously and consciously, temples have been built this way. Huge ceilings to accommodate the vastness. So when you're saying the mantra, let's expand ourselves to the vastness, the primordial self that we are. Triyambakam yajamaye nugandham muinimardanam murmangamema mandanan malnayoram mujeyamamrita. Om Triyambakam yajamaye nugandham muinimardanam murmangamema mandanan malnayoram mujeyamamrita. Om Triyambakam yajamahe sugandham pushtivarnam murmangameva vandanan malnayon mujeyamamrita. Now, no breath and no wisdom. When we talk about breath, when we talk about air, it reminds me first about our father, our first father. Kalahasti is where I was taken through my death experience to experience Lord Siva. Here, Lord Siva is that of air. When we say air, we are now stepping into prana, the breath beyond breath, the states of samadhi, and the wisdom beyond all of this, wisdom beyond breath, which is the goddess of Sri Kalahasti. Tirunjana Prasannambike, that is the goddess who's pregnant in wisdom. In other words, all of us have an inner guru waiting for us to be woken up the moment we step into breath beyond breath. So when we say the mantra, let's say the mantra and then we will step into the states of samadhi. Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam murmangameva vandanan malnayon mujeyamamrita. Take a deep inhale, hold the breath, retain the breath, hold the breath. Here is where we use the ratio that we were working with on samadhi meditation. In samadhi meditation, it is that we inhale once, retain the mantra, saying the mantra 4 times within ourselves, exhale the mantra, saying the mantra twice. So 1 is to 4 is to 2. This ratio is the samadhi ratio that we would utilize. This comes from the Tirumulanadar. The samadhi breath is the breath of the breath beyond breath. We connect with it. So let's do it right now. Take a deep inhale, saying the mantra once. Hold the breath, say the mantra 4 times and become the pillar of light. And in the exhale, exhale to the third eye through the vibrancy of Brahmari Nadi. This ratio, you could multiply it. You could inhale twice, retain the breath 8 times with the mantra, exhale the mantra 4 times. For now, as we are saying it, go beyond the breath, beyond breath as Lord Siva, the one who has been the witness through the time before our birth, the many, many, many births we've had, and the time after our birth. That which is timelessness in time, that which is which is nothingness, the stillness, and the dance inside within. The ratio 1:4:2. 1 we inhale the mantra, 4 we keep, and 2 we exhale. This can be multiplied in the same way, like 2:8:4. Okay. The samadhi breath is so vital as we journey Maha to be the light. Because it's in samadhi that we are source connecting 100% in totality. So let's do it. Let's do the mantra and feel the states of samadhi. Triyambakam yajamaye ultimately divine being is Tantiram. Tantiram is union of source with infinite self. Unions of all opposites within ourselves. The male and female within ourselves. All of this is reflective in being the infinite Akash. Once a day when you get a chance, go out, look at the sky and simply make a prayer. Prayer to infinity that will see and follow the sky. God, infinity source that you see as the sky is really the experience of the vastness of infinity that is within ourselves. So when we enter into the energy space of Akash, we are also entering into being the vortex of light. The light that represents infinity indefinite. So when you go in, see, Lord Siva is denoted as a dancer. Lord Nataraja. That dancer is actually the third eye, there's a dance going on. In reality, here is where the swastika, emblem of auspiciousness, was and is. This dance third eye is represented as the finite dancing in the infinite, and the infinite now in stillness within the finite. So when we go into the mantra, know that we are an infinite being in the finite dancing, and move into the third eye. Let's move with the vibrations by putting the tongue backwards and going into the vibrancy of the mantra through the third eye. So the third eye actually moves infinity in the finite as seat. Within the seat is timelessness. In other words, when we are meditating, step into timelessness over here. We've done the samadhi breath. Now step into the silence. The dancer inside ourselves. This dancer inside ourselves is who takes who we have become. My question to Guru Aya, when he was up on the mountain meditating for 27 years, he was the total affection of years he meditated. My question to him then was, what is it that you find so good and so much happiness greater than human contact? Greater than anything else, including food. If that is so exciting and so amazing, show me. And this is what it is. The dance with it. So let's go into the dance with it through the third eye. Put your tongue back with this Kechari Mudra, an advanced form of yoga. I recommend us to gradually build on Kechari Mudra by putting the tongue backward and the tongue going upwards. So when we say the mantra with the focus on the third eye, we will notice that there's a nectar, there's states of joy. That states of joy creates nectar. This nectar is the rejuvenative, eternal youth of Markandeya. So, divine being, when we have a Siva, when we have the venue of Siva, or when we have the candlelight, how do we worship Lord Siva? As in the form of the five elements. The first is earth, water flows. The second dimension is water. The second dimension is water. Place some water at your altar. The third is the fire that you lit. The fourth is incense, fragrance. Once again, the mantra, Maha Moksha mantra, is about pulling in the fragrance. It contains the five elements, and one of them is fragrance itself. And the fifth is cosmic Akash. And this Akash is flowers. So in this way, we have completed our external worship of the internal Lord of infinity within ourselves. So, divine beings, to recap with the mantra, this is a powerful mantra to journey within and erase out all the negativities of all the lifetimes as karmic patterns and awaken the vastness of the spirit. We held 8 blessings of Lord Siva. The first one is understand when we are in the journey of worship, divine love is Siva, unveil Siva. Siva is love. God is love. Be the love. And this love we find in source union of love. A pure bhakti, the love of God, is the first and the most valuable treasure. The second dimension is all the beings are Lord Siva in the form of masters coming to teach us. All masters have come to take us towards light. Lord Siva. The next, the mantra, the mantra of protection. Anytime you have any anxiety, especially before we go to bed, say the mantra. Let go of all the problems there is, because life is with problems, and all of this is the karmic reality, the karmic package. Take this karmic package, set it on fire, give it to source, especially before we go to bed. So when you wake up in the morning, we are awake as the son of the cosmic, the daughter of the cosmic, the infinity which is he, she, it, and infinity is an absolute. So all of this is in the sense of divine protection that we are in the vibrancies. The next is life and realities. Take all the life and all the reality, turn it around. We are the yogi is on fire. We are constantly taking all the light from this and whirling it into the greater light that we are. Now comes Maximus, fulfillment and completion. This is a very vital dimension. You know, when all this is the same given in ways. In just 2 words, Summa ere, that is, simply be. That simply be is a vital dimension. This one sum, simply be, is the formula itself of life. To hold on, just be content, fulfilled, nothing more, nothing less. Here we are, the heavens. Now, the state of moods, Lord Siva is. Say the mantra and feel this energies. Next is Lord Siva as a spirit, awake. Our spirit is constantly evolving and growing and remembering and coming and being. This Lord Siva we have become. Then comes breath and wisdom. Every breath from source to source. In between breath is the connection of this life before death, after death. What was breath? The breathless breath beyond breath. And in this breath now, we are simply connecting to the light. And then being the space, the infinite space, the infinite dancer, dancing in light. And the vortex of light that we are. No matter what, we are the vortex of light. Wherever we go, a higher vibrancy simply tunes all of the realities into our vibrancies. So we gain the gift of Lord Siva. The first gift of Lord Siva, Sachidananda, the being of bliss, becoming the body of love, being the body of light. Sachidananda, the yogi. So, divine being, this is the mantra, just so that we can all connect heart to heart. Let's absorb the mantra together. We will say the mantra 8 times. And as we say the mantra 8 times, know that wherever we are all amplifying ourselves collectively in the oneness of the mantra. Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam mangameva mandanat murtyoru mukhyamamnana. Om Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam mangameva mandanat murtyoru mukhyamamnana. Om Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam mangameva mandanat murtyoru mukhyamamnana. Om Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam mangameva mandanat murtyoru mukhyamamnana. Om Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam mangameva mandanat murtyoru mukhyamamnana. Om Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam mangameva mandanat murtyoru mukhyamamnana. Om Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam mangameva mandanat murtyoru mukhyamamnana. Om Triyambakam yajamaye sugandham pushtivarnam mangameva mandanat murtyoru mukhyamamnana. Divine beings, may the lamp lit within each one of us be the many, be all the grace light of all the gurus within us, within breath, guiding us, guiding each thought, guiding the reality that follows, awakening the vaster self of us, awakening the higher consciousness and its wisdom, and the knowing that we are the vastness. We have come here as the many as one, uplifting all of humanity. So through this Maha Sivaratri, be the grace of the mantra, the grace of Lord Siva. Om Namah Shivaya, divine beings. So, divine beings, grateful. So now is the question and answers. So happy to respond. The question, how often should we practice the mantra? When we practice the mantra, we feel a state of joy. You might number it, say 108 times, or maybe even 3 times, or maybe even 6 times, whatever the number is, just do it. But as you go along, see, when you're riding a motorcycle, we learned how to cycle. So the first 2 days, 3 days, it's a bit difficult. But then thereafter, when you sit on a cycle, you sort of know. Even if you're riding a cycle up to 20 years, you know. This is how mantras are. Allow the mantra to grow within. Allow the mantra to be the light that consumes your time into timelessness. In other words, let it happen constantly. Let the mantra go on. Whatever you're doing, let the mantra go on. Every breath connected to the mantra. Every breath we are source, God, Siva. Okay? Now, the question, how do we utilize this mantra to protect ourselves and others? Okay, when you're saying the mantra, say the mantra visualizing Lord Siva as a deep blue color. And anyone needing healing, anyone needing protection, bring them into our orbit. So let's do it again. Hold that being in the light. Hold the light within as the light that we wish to share. Share it with any being who needs the protective light. Yes. So the mantra is the question. The mantra is hard to pronounce in English. Is there a pronunciation version of in English? We will send it to you. When we send you an email, we'll send it to you in that way that you can understand the phonics of the sound with it. Yes. Divine beings, yes. Any other thoughts, any other questions? Wonderful. You know, like especially when a person is going through healing or they are even going through life and death situations, this mantra is so powerful. Hold that light of Lord Siva and bring that person into a field. And in a moment, all the light is one with that whom we bring focused. The next question. Can we help to purify earth, water, air of the planet? Of course. See, that is why consciousness is the solution. When we are with Lord Siva, we are consciousness. When we are consciousness, we are constantly purifying earth, water, and air. We're constantly purifying and uplifting the planet Earth, consciously and unconsciously. So when you say the mantra, go on with the mantra, on and on, moving the 5 elements. Know that in our presence here, through the 5 elements, we are the inner sun lifting realities to where it's meant to be in vibrancies. When a higher vibrancy is constant, no matter what, we are able to shift realities around. Wonderful. Any other questions, thoughts, divine beings? Divine beings. Now, see, in the path of Lord Siva, everything turns positive. The bad becomes ugly. The whatever the negative becomes the positive. Our problems becomes opportunities. Our challenges has become miracles. So when you see a snake, the snake really represents the innermost awakening. There is a process within ourselves. There is a dance happening. And at this point, we would see and visualize so many things, but do not get distracted. All we are is with regards to our light. And in this light, do not judge ourselves what we see, what we are. Go even beyond that. Go beyond the mind. All we are interested in is being that light. And in this light, when you see the snake, take the blessings. We would see so many beautiful dimensions. Each blessing, each dimension has come to bless us, because that is a blessing from inside out. That is whom we are. So all that we experience, take it from a place that we're shifting this energy to the next. Yes. So divine beings, one last question before uh, we to end this moment. See, each of these mantras has a state of joy in it. It's what actually is a heart song. So when we are singing, we are invoking the divine. We are also allowing the dance within to be. So the singing in reality is prayers, magnified prayers, especially when we are so connecting all of this energies. Yes. So the question, are there certain objects we should bring to each meeting? Light a lamp. If you don't have a lamp lit, that's okay. Still, visualize a lamp within. When you see Lord Siva, he's clothed in ash to represent the spirit. That's whom we are. What have we come to take? What have we come to go? What are we taking to go? So the only thing that we are is the spirit, having this magnificence of experience. So bring yourself entirely and let anything that is not ours be put in the fire, the sacred fires that allows us to be the sacred ash, the remnants as blessings. So, divine beings, with this, with this, we will we will end our work. We'll end this workshop. So the mantra within ourselves, allow the mantra to grow us as much as we grow the mantra. It's a two-way street. What energy you put in magnifies. What magnifies the energies is there, we receive. So to grow the mantra, mature the mantra. Yes. The question. That is, the question is, you mentioned Lord Siva can be offered a lamp, incense, water. What can be offered for earth element? Earth element is fruits. Supposing you don't have fruits, that's okay. See, it's all about what we think. So offer yourself. You are the greatest fruit. Offer yourself. So fruit, water, incense, and fire is the fire, and and uh, flowers as Akash. Yes. So divine beings in the journeys. So the next we meet with all of us is uh, is in 2 days. Through this particular period of time, if there's any questions to be asked, ask in the think fix so we can answer, and prepare ourselves for the next, which is a satsang, and it would be a question and answers. So, there is the greatness of the question determines the amazing realities as answers. So think deep, work our journey through, and we are the oneness grace. Om Namah Shivaya, divine beings. Om.